You're
certainly
gonna blame me for that problem?
the corporate greed thing, that certainly has got my attention, because I think some of us may or may not have investments or had investments.
Also a good point.
Every time you spend money, you vote.
60% of my investment went like that.
vote.
So, and nobody's in jail for it.
Guns,
So,
or do you buy food?
if I was in New York, I'd be down on Wall Street, because that's where those a-holes are working, So.
Well, this is part of the Wall Street demo. Wall Street actually.
That should be part of the mission statement in support of.
Yeah, we definitely have in there.
What is your take on the Occupy Wall Street movement?
Well, I think it's admirable. It's fun to watch processes evolve, because everybody came together and it was basically blank signs, and now they're trying to figure out what to put on the signs, right? Same thing that you guys are doing. So it's kind of neat to watch consensus building instead of the usual left-right, which is what everybody has devolved into.
Question.
I don't think
so. This somebody federal property, federal jurisdiction?
Provincial.
Oh, it's provincial.
Yeah. Somebody phoned us and asked if it was ours, and it's not. So.
What about the bylaws, local bylaws?
There's probably one or two that are probably being broken, but
Did they happen to phone today?
Pardon?
Did they happen to phone today to ask if it was yours?
I think so. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it from the law courts, or was it from like an independent
court?
Yeah.
For what we're gathering, you're in full support of what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to write a letter of support to the paper?
Well, I may mention it at tonight's council meeting.
Okay.
We can send some representatives.
People hearing like whatever in the background. Everyone's looking. Oh, what are they doing?
We're sort of unsure of what the sheriff's position is right now on us being here, because they said that this is private land, that we're not to be here, that we're to leave right away, that they're gonna call. Yeah, well, I'm just quoting what he said.
Today's events.
Yeah, this morning he was shaking up our tents, waking us up, and he also said that he would call the RCMP if we didn't leave. The RCMP showed up. They had no order from the courts to get us to leave. They were like, well, just go somewhere else, but I mean, don't obstruct the court's operation. Absolutely, that was not our intent anyway. We didn't even think about doing that. I was just not interested. And then they came back and they kind of asked some odd questions, and didn't really give us any response back to their position, and kind of left.
Well, places that have removed the protesters have gotten more of a black eye than they have if they simply tolerate it and understand what's going on.
Right.
If you want to make something worse, then you poke it with a stick. If you want to sort of
understand
it and sort of try and figure out where people are coming from, then work with it. But
thank you for your take. Big time. Incidentally,
Well, this is kind of like an odd question. I'm just asking this as an individual here. Would you be willing to go and see what their stand is, like to open up mediation? And this is something to go open up to group. Is do we want that? But to know whether
I don't know that would be my role in this.
Okay, and for the reason of
pardon?
Why?
Not my property.
Okay.
Right?
So whose property is this again? It's the provincial.
I think it's the province, provincial government. So you could go over and ask Don's office. Don McRae's office. Why can't we sit on
because what it comes down to is if the owners of the property don't want us here, that's something else, right? And the actual owners of the property would have to ask us to leave.
There's a very formal process that normally is followed.
Right.
So it's not usually just a matter of, our cops here are pretty laid back, right?
Oh, yeah.
They're really not going to show up with the riot gear and, throw people out. They're going to say to these guys, well, get an order,
Okay.
So.
Then
you've alleviated that concern from my mind. Thank you.
We won't have to leave until they have paper.
I wouldn't think so.
Until they come here with paper.
I wouldn't think so.
That, we're just going to
Makes
stick
sense.
around.
Makes sense. And on one level, this is public property.
Yeah.
So you would need the custodians, which is the provincial government or the representatives, to make a different determination, and then that can be questioned as well.
Yeah, exactly. Question. That's what we're here to do.
So should I